the Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
Stevie Aoki, welcome to the show.
Yay!
Thanks for having me.
So when we were at Complex Con out in California, we interviewed a lot of people.
Yeah.
And through the haze of pot, my favorite interview by far was Steve. And I'm so glad that you came in to see us
Thanks.
today.
Yeah, that was Complex Con was crazy.
I loved it.
Yeah.
You see,
It's just all kinds of everything. It's not just fashion. It's art, like you were talking about. It's art, fashion, music. I mean, all kinds of culture coming together.
Do they just hand you free stuff though? Do they hand you those free Nike sneakers that everyone was standing in line for?
Yeah, I know. People were waiting for the free stuff.
Yeah.
You definitely can tell. But
they were making a lot of money there. You could buy this stuff. But what you just described, art, music, fashion, that's what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're plugged into all of that.
Yeah, right.
Which makes you like Captain Fascinating to me, anyway. I think so.
Well, I mean, for me, it's like having my label Dimmock. You know, I've been doing Dimmock for 20 years now, and it's an underground label. And we're always involved in all facets of the culture and the community. So whether it's the fashion or throwing the shows or helping out and signing the bands or the artists or DJs in this case, and becoming the artist.
Don't even ask to see how many miles. Don't even ask how many miles Stevie Aoki traveled last year. This guy, I know you get tired of talking about it, but do you ever get tired? I mean, you're on the road constantly. Yeah. Would you be afraid to stay home for more than a week? Would that be a little nerve-wracking for you?
It's like vacation. Home is my vacation. You know,
Right.
I swear, like going to my bed is like going to like a 5-star resort in some island. So I love coming home. It's awesome. I have a lot of family there. My mom's my neighbor. My sister's my neighbor. They come over and cook for me. They get really excited when I get home. So, and I have my own Instagram page for my house.
Right.
Because I'm very, very excited about my house.
He's got a cool house.
Yeah, I gotta see this.
It's at Aoki's Playhouse.
Right.
And it is a playhouse. There's a foam pit there. There's
That's awesome.
You know, people jump off into my pool from the roof, and like I don't know, it's just a fun it's like an 18-year-old boy's dream house if they had the money to build their own house, like the skate ramp in the back, all kinds of fun
you
stuff.
don't have to have a ton of money to do that, and you don't have to be on the road 366 days a year to have a house to come home to. I think that's a great lesson for everyone. To have a house that's fun, so when you come home, you can kind of get your head out of whatever you were doing all day and just have fun.
Yeah.
But, okay, so traveling. Obviously, you love to be on the road. You love meeting people. You love everything you're doing, which is a list a mile long. I mean, are these the best of times? Are these the best of days for you?
Yeah, it's almost like if I don't keep going at this pace, momentum is like my biggest advantage, you know. So I kind of follow my momentum, keep it going, because I mean, you never know when your time is up. You don't know when your cultural time is up, because culture dictates whether you're gonna be, you know, hot or not, or whether you're gonna have a show or not. So I just work my butt off, and you know, knowing that it's a global world that we live in. There's so many more cities to go to. It's not just the United States and Canada.
Wow.
The whole world.
Do you know how many people you've caked? Like, do you have a number?
Yes, I do. I have a good idea. I have a range.
Yeah.
A cakeometer?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I'll just break it down like this. I do 10 cakes a show, okay? 10 cakes a show.
Okay.
And there's, on average, my soft spot number is about 230 shows a year.
Oh my God.
Okay,
that's a lot of
so
cake.
that's 2,300 cakes a year,
Wow.
right? So, and then I've been caking since 2011. However, I started with 1 cake a show. So, I mean, I can easily say over about 10,000 to 12,000.
Wow.
I mean, conservatively, you know, like,
That's crazy.
But the cake has to be a perfect consistency.
Yes, that's what I hear.
You don't want hard cakes. They got to be soft cakes.
Don't hurt people with the cake.
Has
No,
there ever been
no.
a caking gone wrong?
Well, we have a 6-page cake writer.
Oh, stop it.
Okay, so when we go, like, when the promoter gets like the Steve Aoki show, they're like, oh, great! Now we have the tech writer, which everyone has. We have the hospitality writer, like our food that we eat,
Yeah.
and then we have this additional addendum, this cake writer. So they're like, oh, we have to like go through 6 pages of making sure the cakes are, you know, Steve Aoki worthy cakes, so that I can
Isn't that funny?
smash you in the face, nice and good.
High-priced attorney sitting around a table for days coming up with a cake writer. But, you know, what I love, and look, the other day I met you. I got to be honest with you. Let me be totally transparent. That when I shook your hand, I mean, I know all about a lot of the things you do and stand for, but when I shook your hand and met you, I felt this energy that was just kind of fantastic because you do all of these things in your career, which is your life, your being, which I find beyond fascinating.
Thank you.
The music, of course, and we got to talk about. We have to talk about what came out Friday, Neon Future 3. BTS, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm jumping around. But one thing I love that you do is, and we kind of touched about on this for a second, was the brain.
Yeah.
Because what you do is so colorful and sounds so good. You can feel texture. You can taste things when you can listen to some of the incredible production that comes from Steve Aoki. But it's all about the brain. But you're taking it a step or two further. Right. In your endeavors. Can you talk about that for a second?
Well, I mean, a lot of what I do, Neon Future is all about future science and humanity coming together to, better our lives. In a way, help us find, like going into the brain, help us find the cures, help us unlock the mysteries of the human brain. And I'm obsessed, I'm fascinated with the human brain because it's a huge mystery that we don't know much about. And every time we unlock a door, we unlock this concept of science fiction becoming science fact. So like this concept in itself is really the main motto or slogan of why I do what I do. It's such an exciting concept because when I was a kid, I was a comic book kid, and then I got into sci-fi, and then I was filled with imagination of what we can do as a human being. Can we create these superhero qualities? Most likely not. But actually, through science, we are slowly getting our way closer and closer to becoming more and more of a superhero. In the end, how can we help people that need it? So, for example, I just read in the last 5 years, there's the idea of telekinesis, right? Mm-hmm. The idea to move things with your mind. That's something you only hear in comic books, right? In Marvel movies,
right?
Well, it's happening now with science where people that are paralyzed from the neck down are able to use a device that's in their head to be able to move the chair, to be able to move an arm that could feed them. So that's telekinesis.
So without a vocal command, pushing a button with your tongue,
and that was happening 5 years ago,
right?
But that conversation, here's the other interesting part, is that those conversations of these superhero things that are happening now, they're actually discussed in very small circles. And they're only discussed in the science journals and with the researchers and the scientists. And with my foundation, the Aoki Foundation, where we raise all our money for brain research, I've been lucky to be able to jump in these circles, talk with some of these researchers and scientists and some of the authors of the books that I've been reading, and get just breakthrough information that's happening with the body, like on cancer, on dementia, on brain degenerative
Alzheimer's
diseases,
right.
And there's actually an incredible institution or organization in Las Vegas called Lou Ruvo Center, and it's a privately held organization where they spent $400 million building this out specifically on brain health. And so I've been meeting with them. I've been donating money to them, and they're just incredible. It's incredible to see what's happening and what we can actually do. So I mean, I have a lot of things like putting money into action, putting awareness into action, but also building awareness through music. Neon Future is really about understanding ourselves, understanding how we can better ourselves, better our mind, better our body through tech, through science, and merging those two into this Neon Future.
Well, Steve, here's what excites me, and I couldn't really talk about it really well with a loud voice at ComplexCon because it was so loud, and there was a lot of pot smoke. I mean, we were stoned. Who was it? Someone came on stage and got me high in front of cameras. I'm like, I don't know. But anyway, what you do with sound and with color and with visuals. Can you imagine? Let's say you throw in a video on your laptop. Mm-hmm. Steve Aoki produced it, conceptualized the whole thing, and by the end of that video and listening to the sound, watching everything fly by on the screen, your capability of being able to remember things has increased. So you can be entertained and enlightened at the same time. There are things going on through your entertainment that make our brains healthier. There's got to be a cool merge, because we already know that the music has this power to heal. We know that.
Exactly, yeah.
But to be able to pinpoint and focus on things and simple entertainment that can actually heal our minds, that's you. No one else can do it but you.
I appreciate that. I mean, it's also
no, it has to be done by Christmas. Can you get that done? It'd be a great stocking stuffer.
But music, yeah. So music is the ultimate way to connect with people. That's what I've learned. You know, that's definitely been my, you know, like I've realized, you know, like you can connect with people in all different kinds of ways. And I feel like I'm here on this planet. I'm here alive to connect. Like I have a since I was a kid, I always wanted to share like the things that I love so much.
Like, go back to when you were a kid, Steve. Like, what can stick out in your mind right now that you're like, oh my God, okay, I was like a Mr. Showbiz connector kid when I did this. Do you remember what it was?
I remember, okay, I say that music would be the first thing that I found so excited about that I would make mixtapes, you know, those cassette tapes.
Yeah.
So like for Christmas, when I meet up with my family, you know, I'm a kid, so I don't have any money. So what I would do is I would just make mixtapes for my dad and my sister and my brother, and I would make them multiple mixtapes, like mixtapes that I found inspiring and mixtapes that I knew that my dad would like of music.
So you customize
like.
something for Dad.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. I'll be like, okay, Dad likes 60s and 70s music, so I'm gonna go and dig. And I was essentially like a pre-training DJ, you know, because I was digging and learning about like the 60s and 70s culture, and I'd make a mixtape of that music, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna introduce you to what I listen to, you know. And it's the idea to share something and to see like someone sparkle. And that's and at the end of the day, it's like what you do, what I do, what we all do is we want to share like something that's exciting to us. And if we could do it really, really well, then we could be successful. We could actually, you know, make money from it, or, you know, just be happy with our lives. So, I mean, I think at the end of the day, music's been my most natural way to be able to share and connect with people. And through the years, I've found obviously other ways to do that.
Okay, so what Steve is saying here, think about it. Okay, maybe you're off to work right now. You're on your way to the insurance agency, or you're a teacher. You're doing a great job, and you're feeling fulfilled at the end of the day. But what did you do as a kid? Have you thought about it? Like what Steve was talking about, making mixtapes for his parents. When I was a little kid, I had a little radio station in my closet in the bedroom. It's something this is what I do. So think about what that is. That passion could still be in there, and you still could side hustle it, and you could be merging on into a new lane, going back to what you're all about. I think that inspires people. Think about what you were like, Gandhi.
Yes.
What'd you do as a kid?
I wrangled up animals. Like any animal I could catch and hold on to, I would keep it as long as I could until I realized the frogs liked it better outside and the crawdad was going to die in the little cage at my house.
So can you make a living out of just wrangling and torturing animals?
I don't want to torture them. I want to save them now. But yes, I would save animals now if I could.
See, there you go.
Yes.
Do you still have a passion for something like that?
Absolutely.
Then what are you doing here? If we fired you, it'd be the best thing we could do right now.
Get me out of here.
I think that's awesome. You follow your passion from when you're a kid to now, and when you stop and think about it, like you've always been Steve Aoki. You've always been this guy.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, let's talk about working with BTS. Look, this song is, I mean, we played it again this morning, or yesterday. Every time we play it, you know they're following.
Yeah,
it's
the
like
BTS Army.
Kaboom.
It's the
Yeah,
greatest
exactly.
energy I've ever encountered in my life.
Kaboom is a perfect word.
Yeah, it is a kaboom thing. But working with BTS and our buddy Louis Tomlinson and Daddy Yankee, Elvis and Crespo and Lauren. I can't say her last name from Fifth Harmony. Remember? How do you say it?
I mean, I guess like how, like, you know, like people say Aoki.
Right.
Really, my Japanese name is Aoki.
Right.
So like most people say Haregi, right?
Yeah, Lauren Haregi.
Lauren Haregi.
Even when we meet her, I'm just like, "Hi, Lauren." but look at all these people you've been working with: Blink 182, Mike Posner, who I love. The beard's fabulous, isn't it? Yeah. And then you have Lady Antebellum. I mean, and Bill Nye, the science guy.
That's exciting.
What a fascinating dude.
Yes,
he sat
absolutely.
in the same chair one day and just blew our minds.
But he confused the hell out of us too.
I fought along. It was all good.
No, so that's the other great thing about Neon Future is it allows me to think outside the box. Like I wanna work with people outside of music. So with the Neon Future 2, I did a song with J.J. Abrams. Mm-hmm. Neon Future 1, Ray Kurzweil, and Neon Future 4, I want Elon Musk. I want to do a song with Elon Musk.
Oh, wow.
But Bill Nye is like for me, like, you're growing up watching Bill Nye the Science Guy. It's like, You know, like I had to get him on the album, and he was all about it.
He's fascinating.
That's so crazy.
But and a chef. You need a good chef here. We'll figure that out.
Wait, didn't you just start a pizza delivery service? Or
I
something?
did, yeah.
Now, why did you do that?
Pizzaoki or
Were you
something?
unhappy with the pizza delivery service you had at the house? So I'll make my own.
It's basically streaming pizzas. It's I've cut I've cut brick and mortar out, and we're opening up these very small scale kitchens where we can do what people want. They want to eat pizzas in their homes. So I'm like, all right, let's cut the corners. Pizzaoki, small kitchens. Boom, we're gonna send out you Just Hold On pizza. We got Asukita pizza. Like these are the names of my songs.
Right.
Steveroni pizza. And it's doing really, really well. We started with one kitchen in July. We have 6 kitchens in already in LA, just in LA. We're opening the Bay, San Diego, Chicago, Boston, New York now.
We need one downtown Manhattan right now.
Please, thank you.
Yeah. So
I have those pizza moments, if you know what I'm saying. I'm like, where's my friggin' pizza?
Yeah, exactly.
So what I'm loving about this, and I'm loving so many things. I'm not even on any kind of drug today. It's just a love thing.
That's good.
It just seems like what you do is actually so fantastic as far as learning and growing for you.
Right.
I mean, even though you're creating things that we're all enjoying and consuming and eating, it seems like everything you do it's got to be fascinating for you. You're continually continuously learning, nonstop.
Exactly. And that's like the best part about it is that no matter how old I am, I still have this exciting urge to learn more and more. And you realize how little you really know as you continue to learn. You're like, wow, I just learned 1% of this entire genre or the topic that you're learning about. And as you talk to more and more people, you just realize that like that information, like I said before, it's like stuck in a little ball, and you need to like unravel it and share it. And the more you share it, the more you realize how important it is to learn, because you learn to share, right? You like, it's one thing if there's like, the idea of knowledge without sharing is no power, right? Knowledge is power unless you share it. So I think once you share it and you see like the kind of impact you can make on someone, whether they're just excited for the day or whether they take it and they want to share it again, then it has real impact and it has real power.
There you have it.
Wow.
That's awesome. So, okay, it came out Friday, Neon Future 3. It's more than just music. There's thought. There's all sorts of things, concepts to learn about in this thing. And anything you do, I love watching. Oh, by the way, DJ Reed used to be our intern. You know DJ Reed? He was on the road with you for a while.
DJ Reed, yeah, I know that name.
Yeah.
Reed Stefan.
Reed Stefan.
Oh, Reed Stefan. Yeah.
He was our intern.
Yeah,
our
Reed
intern.
Stefan. Yeah, he's a good friend.
And he's so brilliant now. You know why? Because of me. And then,
Reed's great.
Of course, Stevie Aoki was at our Fiesta Latina down in Miami last weekend. Now, the Latin Grammys with Nicky Jam. You're everywhere doing everything, and I think that's why you're never home, which is you have an excuse. You have a hall pass. You don't have to go home. It's all good.
Actually, in my home, I have an incredible studio too. So it's like you bring the work home. Like I don't mind. I mix the whole. My work is my life.
Right.
My life is my work. So my studio's at home. I bring all my friends over. We have fun. Jump in the pool. Jump in the foam pit, and then get in the studio.
So you're sitting here with us doing this interview. What's the work here? What are you getting out of this? Like, are you going to leave here and create something because of something that we've talked about or thought about?
Maybe we need to do a collaboration.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I'm sure your foam pit's much cleaner than Chuck E. Cheese foam pit.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
You need a foam pit. Well, look, we're so excited to have you here, Stevie Aoki. Make sure you learn more about Neon Future 3 and make sure you consume it as fast as possible. It's tasty like his pizza. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you,
Steve Aoki.